Salvatore. About the author. William Somerset Maugham was an English novelist, playwright, and a short story writer whose work is characterized by a clear, unadorned style, cosmopolitan settings, and a shrewd understanding of human nature. There are many biological details in his stories and characters. Some of his works are Human Bondage, The Moon and Sixpence, Cakes and Alley, The Razor Edge. The short story Salvatore, apparently a narrative about the life of a young Italian fisherman and his disappointment in love, is actually a masterly character sketch of the protagonist. Now let us understand why the title of the story, Salvatore, is appropriate. The title is direct and appropriate as it tells us that the narrative to follow would be about Salvatore, the main character around whom the story revolves. Salvatore is a popular Italian name meaning savior. A savior being someone who is kind, generous, and filled with goodness. Therefore, protagonist of the story, being a humble fisherman, had all these qualities to be called Salvatore. We, as the readers of the story, are presented with Salvatore's life story. We are given a glimpse of his childhood. He is acting as a nursemaid to his two younger brothers, his passion for the girl he loved, his military service where he feels homesick and falls ill due to rheumatism, his being dejected in love because of his illness, his marriage to another girl named Assunta, his hard work and his childlike moments with his children. The author has skillfully highlighted the character trait of Salvatore's innate goodness. Despite being heartbroken, Salvatore never blamed the girl who left him. He never uttered harsh words for her or for anybody. He was gentle and sweet to his wife Assunta and behaved childlike with his children. Maugham thus seems to admire the good, kind, and gentle protagonist and names the story after him, being an evidence of his sincere admiration. Salvatore, setting of the story. The major part of the story is set on an island. Ischia and Vesuvius were as much part of Salvatore as his hands and feet. The island was an Italian island. Salvatore, as a young boy, would lie about in a carefree manner on the beach. He spent his childhood here with his family. Even when he himself became a father of two sons, he would spend time playing with them on the beach and would give them a bath by tenderly dipping them in the water. Moreover, when at times he felt excruciating pain in his limbs, he would simply lie on the same beach to relax himself. Only once, for a brief period of time, he did leave the island to become a sailor in the navy. It was here that he missed his home, an island where he lived. The little white cottage, the vineyard, the beach, the seashore, thus form the setting of the story. The story of Salvatore in short. The author wonders if he can hold the attention of the readers for a few pages while he sketches the portrait of a man named Salvatore, who was the eldest son of a fisherman, was pleasant shaped, and happily took care of his two younger brothers. He fell in love and was betrothed to an unnamed girl in the story who lived on the Grand Marina. Salvatore left home to become a sailor, He felt nostalgic and homesick and missed his fiancée the most. He then fell ill, and as he suffered from rheumatism. He was considered unfit for further service. Salvatore did not mind his illness and felt happy to return to his family and lady love. On his return, he was grandly welcomed by his family, and his fiancee's mother bluntly told him that her daughter would not marry him because he would be of no further use. This made Salvatore unhappy, but he did not blame the girl. His mother then told him about Assunta, a girl who was slightly older than him, who had fallen in love with Salvatore and wanted to marry him. On his mother's advice, he got married to Assunta, and he had two children, which were two boys. Salvatore had to work very hard. He used to catch cuttlefish at night. He also used to work in his vineyard the whole day. His rheumatism often took its toll on him. He would then lie about the beach with pain racking his limbs, but he never uttered any unpleasant words for anyone. Salvatore was truly affectionate towards his children. Affectionate. At times, he gave them a bath and used to hold them tenderly as if they were flowers. The author, through this narrative, portrays Salvatore as a man who possessed nothing but goodness. The story of Salvatore in detail. Salvatore's early years. Now, these phrases can easily be chosen and can be written in your answers as and when required. The first part, Salvatore's early years. The author knew Salvatore since Salvatore was a boy of 15-year-old. Salvatore was very thin, had a pleasant face, a laughing mouth, and carefree eyes. Pleasant face, a laughing mouth, and carefree eyes can be used as a quote while writing the answers. Since he used to live on the island, he spent his morning lying on the beach. He used to swim effortlessly in the sea. Number 2. Salvatore's caring nature. Salvatore was the eldest son in the family. His father was a fisherman who owned a little vineyard, and Salvatore acted as a nursemaid to his two younger brothers. He took care of them while his father was away. He shouted at them to come near the shore when they went too far in the sea and dressed them accordingly when they had to climb the hot, vine clad hill for the midday meal. Number 3. Salvatore's falling in love. When Salvatore grew up, he fell in love with a girl who lived on the Grand Marina. The girl was pretty and had beautiful eyes. They got engaged, and Salvatore, for the first time, left the island to become a sailor in the navy of King Victor Emmanuel. Remember the name of King. Salvatore's attachment to his house. Number 4. Salvatore was deeply attached to his home, an island in Italy. The surrounding mountains, Ischia and Vesuvius, were as much as part of him as his hands and feet, which he realized only after moving away from them. Away from home, he used to weep like a child and felt dreadfully homesick. Moreover, he extremely missed the girl he loved, and he also used to send letters to her about and telling about how he missed her and how he was homesick. he wanted to come back. Salvatore's return home. Number 5. Salvatore fell ill with some form of rheumatism, and this made him unfit for further service. Instead of feeling sad or dejected, his heart exulted at the thought of going back home. The only thing that mattered for him was that he was going back for the girl and the island he loved. Salvatore is heartbroken. This is number 6. Salvatore is heartbroken. When Salvatore finally came back home, he saw his father, mother, and two younger brothers standing on the jetty waiting for his arrival. But his eyes could not find the girl. Salvatore then went to meet her at the house in the evening, only to find out that she would not marry him because of his ailment. Salvatore felt heartbroken, and on reaching home, he wept on his mother's bosom. He was terribly unhappy, but he did not blame the girl. A new marriage proposal for Salvatore. Number 7. A few months later, Salvatore's mother offered him a proposal to marry a young woman who was slightly older than him, 24 or 25, and she was named Asunta. She could buy him a boat of his own and take a vineyard on rent if he would marry her. His mother told him that Asunta had seen him at the festa and had fallen in love with him. Salvatore smilingly said he would think about it. Number 8. Salvatore accepts the marriage proposal given by Asunta. On the following Sunday, Salvatore, dressed in stiff black clothes, went up to the high mass at the parish church and, having looked at the woman, finally agreed to marry her. Number 9. Salvatore and Asunta's married life. After getting married, the couple settled down in a tiny whitewashed house in the middle of some handsome vineyard. Salvatore, a big husky fellow now, wore still this ingenuous smile of his. He was still trusting and kind to people. Asunta here is termed as a grim visaged female. She was good at heart and was a devoted wife. She could not bear the girl who broke her husband's heart, and thus she had nothing but only harsh words for that girl. Number 10. Salvatore's hard work. Salvatore, all through the fishing season on the evenings, would set out in his boat with one of his brothers for the fishing grounds. He spent the night catching the profitable cuttlefish. Then there was a long row back again in order to sell the catch in time for it to go on the early boat to Naples. At other times, he was working in his vineyard from dawn till the heat drove him to the rest, and then again, when it was trifle cooler, till dusk. Even when his rheumatism caused him pain that racked his limbs, he would only utter pleasant words for the other people, for everyone. Number 11. Salvatore's relationship with his children. Salvatore had two boys, and he used to bring them down to the beach to give them a bath. Salvatore had enormous hands, but when he bathed his children and dipped them in the water, he did it so tenderly, but uh, Salvatore had enormous hands, but when he bathed his children and dipped them in the water, he did it so tenderly as if they were flowers. Looking at his child's smallness, he would laugh like an angel, and his eyes would appear as candid as his child's. Number 12. The author's intervention. The author intervenes in first person and tells the readers that he wanted to see if he could hold their attention for a few pages while he drew the portrait of an ordinary fisherman, Salvatore, who possessed nothing in the world except goodness and just goodness. Thank you.